So this was interesting. Victoria Alonso, who has been involved with Marvel Films, and she's the reason Kevin Feige got into the business, along with like Richard Donner and stuff. Like they picked Kevin Feige and were like, make this guy a thing. Let's put him into working with us. So she's still involved with Marvel with everything. She revealed Disney is starting new mini studios for MCU animation, and animation will be a big focus going forward. So
honestly, they should have been doing it a decade before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Black Widow, isn't it? They could have wanted to do anything, but certain individuals in the way.
Yeah, because from what I've seen, people wanted like better animation and stories for animation that Marvel could have been doing 10 years ago. Because unfortunately, for people who are casual and are not in the know, over here, animation is still seen as a kids thing instead of an all ages thing, where you can have an ongoing story.
Everywhere.
That's
here as well.
I mean,
no, I've got a friend that's outright refusing to watch What If just purely because it's animated.
And that's the sad thing, because like from a storytelling aspect, there's a lot of things you can do in animation that you can't do in live action, and have it be meaningful.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing of MCU doing more animation, I think once you bring in the same level of talent that you're doing with the films and the Disney Plus shows, and you keep it consistent, you're not rushing it by going, guys, we need to have 52 episodes a year or whatever, or 28 a season because we got to sell this merch. It sounds like, by what she's saying, they're going to be more careful and take their time. I think this is going to get to that point where now everybody looks at Marvel animation, you're like, well, I guess that's on par with the film, so good luck topping that one. You know, it's seeming like they're starting to care, and I like that they're caring enough to go, we're going to have the MCU still do its thing, but we're also going to bring in a whole new style of creation to this that doesn't affect that. So, you know, Kevin Feige even revealed, like it wasn't his idea to do What If, but he started hearing the pitches and he was like, wow, that sounds great. We could definitely do this. And then he's also helping set up this new thing, obviously, so because he's in charge of everything Marvel. I think that there's a lot here that is going to be sort of expanded upon, and when they confirm what they're doing, I honestly won't be shocked if we get to the December investors call, which is now 6 months away. Good God, it's already been 6 months since the last one. They're probably going to announce like a dozen projects. Like, here you go.
But this is the thing, isn't it? Because Victoria Alonso said there's more to come this year from their animation side. It's like, well, what the hell is it?
Yeah.
You can't. It's not just What If. Like, she didn't just say, oh, you know, What If's coming late this year. It's like, oh yeah, there's things to come this year. It's just like, what? It's like, is it actually dropping or are you announcing it? It's just like, But I just find it funny that Marvel's now going the Star Wars route, where, you know, animation's going to be canon.
Yeah.
And why would What If be like? People are still confused if What If's canon. It's like, it was announced as part of Phase 4. It's canon.
For people who are confused about it, it's canon, but it's not in the main timeline of the movies. So you can
absolutely see these characters again. Somewhere. I can guarantee you that. And then Star Wars is taking that. We need to do more stuff to like universal approach.
Like,
that's quite funny.
Yeah, like I said, in the main timeline, you have split timelines in the main movies. These What Ifs are potentially that split in the timeline.
If you saw the end of Loki and you saw that giant cobweb at the end, literally pick a line and that is a What If.
That's a What If. Yep.
Any strand in that final scene is a What If. It is all part of the same thing.
And I don't know, I'm just really excited by the fact that like Marvel is already planning ahead. Like, they're not just going to make random garbage, it sounds like, you know, the old way of cartoon was, what's cheap, dirty, that can sell tons of toys? They're still going to approach it with, well, what can sell a lot of toys and merch, because that's everybody's
It's how can
business.
we tie it to the MCU for the last 10 years?
And make it seem valuable so people want to tune in. And I think there is something to that that's worth being excited about, because who knows what they're going to do. I mean, Disney owns Spider-Man animation. So you could feasibly be like, hey, we want to do that Spider-Man origin story with everything. We could do it on Disney Plus, animated.
As long as it's under 44 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, Sony's got to do it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We hear Uncle Ben in the background. Oh, here we go again.
But this is the thing. Like, what do they do? Like, they're obviously going to do a mixture of series and movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've absolutely got to go back to that format. But then it's like, what do they do? Like, what would you want?
So, my hope is, and this is just my hope, it's like if there was a perfect scenario, this is what I would want. I would want What If to end with it, obviously it's going to tie into the MCU and everything, we're all understanding that. But I want it to end with sort of some of those characters we followed being like thrown into one timeline where now, hey, here's your cartoon version of the MCU where these characters are going to exist in permanently. And check out all these other things that exist in there, like your Iron Fist and a new Luke Cage and a new Kazar or whatever, because I have to mention him weekly at this point. So, and then you kind of just do that, sort of like they did the 90s animated universe with Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and X-Men. Recreate that, but as part of the MCU multiverse. And just toss whatever obscure characters and things you want in there and see how they do. And if there's a good enough response, guess who's coming to live action? It's like a good test bed for ideas. I think that's how I would do it.
See, what you need is a Dave Filoni to masturbatory all over this thing.
Ah, yes, definitely.
That's what you need. You need that one character that's going to take a few years for people to give a crap about, and then 10 years down the line, everyone's white sauce flying everywhere.
It's the greatest thing to ever be put on film. Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. What would you want to see from this? Like, what's your this is the thing I'm so hyped for.
I want an animated Secret Empire.
Oh,
or like an Annihilation and do that.
I see you want people warring for Secret Empire.
Exactly.
Why would you want to do that? You were still arguing about that too.
Because I'm a chaotic neutral, you see. You have the neutral Annihilation event, which no one doesn't like Annihilation. The chaotic part of Secret Empire. Let's bring it back.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Tristan, what more? What would you want? Because I want something safe. Mitch wants to piss the internet off. What do you want?
I just want good stories in animation because it's from a Marvel aspect. They have so much to draw from that it's saddening that the industry still thinks that animation is for kids. Like I'm just saying this again, but if you look at what Japan's doing, they have a whole wide range of genres for animation that range from all ages to the mature, and it's just like animation is not for kids. I don't know why people still think that animation is for kids.
Yeah,
it's purely culture, isn't it? Japan's had that. It's been a staple of theirs for generations, whereas over here it's just like kiddie stuff. I think that's more of a it's more of a Disney thing.
That's the thing that just gets me, man. Sometimes it's just like there's so much you can do and have so many different stories that not everything needs to be live action all the time to be serious and not be taken for kids. That's just what I want, because like you can try and get some have one of the things I would love to see is a Jack Kirby-esque animated show where it has all the animation cues from Jack Kirby in an animation show. It would be really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think there's a lot they can do. I don't know what's holding them back. Maybe it feels like the way they're talking about this, they're gonna find that this is the new way to do it, right? Like, we can do this, and you see that with Star Wars. Like, Star Wars Visions, they're like, whatever you want to make animation, let's do it. It's like, cool, this looks great. Like, unique approaches to everything. I think that's a good way to put it. And they seem to just be committed to that style of storytelling, which gets me excited because there is so much unlimited potential. It's looking good.
I just want Star Wars Visions now.
Same. So there we go, Marvel animation.